Hello, everyone, and welcome to From Darkness to Love and Light. Today, I have a guest, and her name is Robin Barnes. I'll tell you a little bit about Robin. She is a certified biofield tuning practitioner, which she will explain all about. I know that sounds very confusing saying that name, but she will tell you, and also an instructor. She's also a certified sound healer, a certified Usui Reiki master and teacher, a certified Akashic Records practitioner, and a certified bioacoustic practitioner and instructor. Amazing. I love all this stuff. Using cutting edge science as well as ancient techniques to initiate cellular level healing in the body, Robin works with her clients to determine the most effective healing approach to resolve health issues, including stress, anxiety, pain, stuckness, and more. And with that, I welcome you, Robin, to the show. Hi, hon. How are you today?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so delighted to have you. And I can't wait to hear your story of how you got to this in your life. It's just, so incredible healing modalities that you offer people. It's just, so beautiful. I just love it.
It's a lot. I really try to focus on not all of them, but I really focus mostly on my biofield tuning work and probably my sound bath work. That's the
Mm.
focus of what I do. I do quite a bit of Reiki too, I guess. I just taught a Reiki class this weekend, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. So I love energy. Mostly, I just
Yeah.
love energy. I love what it does for people and how it helps people and heals things that conventional medicine really can't touch.
Right.
So uh,
Yeah.
that's my joy is
Mm.
to help people feel better and be out of pain,
Mm.
whether it's
Yeah.
emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it is.
Right. Right. And it's incredible how, I mean, we are energy. Everything is energy. And but it's incredible how much it can heal us when we tune into those specific energies for each issue, that we're going through kind of thing. So, how did you arrive at doing this in your life? I know that earlier on you had a completely different career. So tell us how you got there.
Yeah. My background is accounting. So I'm that kind of in the box person. And
Right.
but I was probably never meant to stay there for sure.
Mm, right.
But that's what I went to university for and worked as an accountant in big eight firms. I'm dating myself, big eight,
Mm,
but big accounting firms,
right.
and I morphed from there into teaching. Actually, I started teaching, and this was a long time ago, probably
Right.
40 years, 30 years ago plus. Anyway,
Yep.
I was teaching computer programs. I was teaching people how to use, at the time, Microsoft products.
Yeah.
All of the stuff was brand new. I'm seriously dating myself here, but all of that stuff was brand new. And so I went all over the country teaching people how to use Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint,
Mm,
Outlook.
yeah.
There were some iterations of Apple products. So that sort of got me into the whole teaching aspect of things, and I
Right.
really enjoyed that. And I was also a professional singer, so when I was doing those things, I was
Mm,
also singing professionally and studying acting in New York City, and just a
wow.
whole mess of things that I was doing. Um, and looking back on it now, I can see how all of those things led me to where I am today. At the
Yeah.
time, it seemed like probably I had ADD, which I might, but but at the
I
time,
think I might
I,
too. It's okay.
I was jumping all over the place doing things, but I absolutely can see how all of that led me
Yeah.
to where I am today. So, I
Wow.
was teaching and then, and getting in touch with my creative side at the same time. And then I kind of decided to take a different tack. I got married, I had kids, and I really spent as much time as I could with my children. And we moved down to Tennessee, which is where I
Mm,
am in right outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
cool.
And um, I kind of got back in touch. I became a single mom, but then I also started to get
Mm,
back in touch with, kind of who I am at my
yeah.
essence, what makes me tick and what makes me happy, and I really kind of rediscovered rocks and crystals, which I had visited back in my early 20s, and
Right.
I really loved rocks way too much, spent way too much money on rocks. Uh, but that really kind of it propelled me forward, is what it did, to
Right.
try to understand why do I like rocks? What is it about rocks? How come I feel this when I'm holding a rock, or feel something else when I'm holding a different rock? And I
Right.
found Reiki at around that time as well,
Mm,
and just trying to understand energy because I really didn't know anything about energy.
mm,
I also became a bioacoustic practitioner at that time. So, bioacoustics, what is Sherry Edwards' work? She's based out of Albany, Ohio. And it's about taking a vocal print of the voice and then running that through her proprietary programs in order to understand what is off in the body frequency wise. So, what
oh,
frequencies are
wow.
off, and then delivering frequencies to bring the body back to homeostasis, back to equilibrium, back into coherence. And that taught me so much about sound. And I
Yeah.
love that work, taught that work. I really don't do that work particularly anymore.
Hmm.
Um, but what that did and what Reiki did was really help me understand how sound affects the body physically, and
Hmm.
how energy affects the body physically.
Hmm.
And I'll just touch back on my acting work
Yeah.
in back in the 80s, and the particular type of acting that I did was called method acting. It was Lee Strasberg's work, and I studied there. And what that taught me was how emotional tension, how muscle tension in the body holds in emotion.
Hmm.
Uh, so that piece became really important to me. So as I began to
Mm,
understand energy in the body and how sound affects the body, what I began to realize was that I wasn't affecting the emotional body. I was really
mm,
just affecting the physical body with all the things I was doing. And about around like 2014, 2015, there were a lot of Reiki practitioners around here that had started using tuning forks in
right.
their Reiki uh,
Hmm.
work. And I
Hmm.
just thought, oh my gosh, I got to learn something else. Um,
Right.
but because of all that I already knew about sound, um, and I think my accounting background, which put me in that little box, which meant I had to understand it before I could do it. I set out looking for information on tuning forks. I wasn't
Hmm.
comfortable with just buying a tuning fork off of Amazon or the internet and start
Right.
waving it around somebody. So I found Eileen McCusick's work,
Hmm.
and read all of her information and watched every video she had at the time, which wasn't a lot,
Right.
and realized that the particular method that she was doing with tuning forks, which she called Biofield Tuning, was my
Hmm.
missing piece. And it really brought everything
Mm,
together for me. It brought the emotional piece, it brought the physical piece, it brought the energetic aspect of it, and sound. And so
right.
that, kind of how it all came together. And ultimately, I think we're all looking for our own healing on these journeys.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
we all need healing in some aspect, some way, shape, or form. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. So true. It really is. And it's like there's nobody who is perfectly content in their mind or body at guaranteed, even though some people may portray that they, have their shit together completely, that there's, yeah, it's not, it's not true. I mean, we all could use healing, you know?
Oh goodness, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it's a big red flag now. If I see somebody who feels like they've got it all together, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
you know, let's
Stay
let's
away.
deeper. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Wow. Um, so yeah, so the biofield tuning, that's so that is with the tuning forks themselves when you do that. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes. Yes. So the method um, for biofield tuning is that we work with the energy field of the body. So I'm not we can and do put some tuning forks on the body, but mostly I'm working out in the energy field of the body. So
Okay.
the energy field of the body is like it's like the hard drive for everything that's ever happened to you in your life.
Okay.
It's all logged in the energy field, um, energetically, electrically, really.
Mm,
So
mm,
um, we use tuning forks, which are a coherent vibration, to locate incoherence or dissonance in the energy field of the body. And
okay.
the tuning fork can hear that, and we can feel it, and so we can bring it, whatever is out there, the dissonance, the noise, we can bring it into coherence with the tuning forks, and then bring that energy, which has been stuck out in the field, back into really our central channel, our central flow.
Wow.
It's fascinating work. It's profound. It's transformative, which is why I do it. I'm
Mm,
grateful and blessed that I get to teach this work. So I
mm,
get to teach for Eileen, for the Institute, and we have
right.
students all over the world. It's just amazing. Yeah, it's lots of fun.
Wow. That's incredible. It really is. And so I would love, well, I love the whole voice thing. I think that is super cool just to like, I mean, it makes sense, that like I think, I don't know, for me, like you say that you were a singer, a professional singer, and I know my brother is a musician, and he's like, you're not singing from your diaphragm, Linda. So,
Mm.
kind of knowing a little bit about the chakras and stuff like that, it's like, okay, what's stuck here? I got something stuck. Obviously, there's some kind of energy work that I need done, like, and I'm wondering how that, if I could do something like that, just to sort of help that energy center to allow me to be able to sing from my diaphragm just for my own sake or whatever, like, but
Yes, well, I think we can all do that.
hmm
Um, the truth is that your own voice is your greatest asset for healing. Your
mm,
voice is uniquely tuned to you.
hmm
So anytime we can use our voice to give pain in the
hmm
body a voice, um, that's what helps to heal the body. So we know
mm,
that sound heals. We know that the
yeah,
body is really just a symphony of sound.
hmm
So anytime you can sort of put your focus or awareness on some place that feels stuck in the body,
hmm
or some place that you feel pain, and just give
hmm
it a sound. Just like,
mm,
it's not that it has to be a pretty sound. That's not what it's about. It's
right,
just about giving it a voice. We have
okay,
to speak for our body.
right,
Mostly we don't, right? Mostly what people do is say, I have a pain in my shoulder, I have pain in my hip. Where's the
Mm,
aspirin? Where's the
mm-hmm.
ibuprofen?
Yeah.
Where's the whatever it is? And we
Right.
mask it. But it's really the
Yeah.
body talking to us. It's the body saying, I need help. I need relief. I need to get rid of this tension. And
Absolutely.
instead of acknowledging that, we ignore it or we mask it with drugs
Oh yeah.
or whatever it is, aspirin kind of drugs or
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so, but if you can just give it a voice and keep
Mm,
giving breath to that sound. So, like if you feel you have a pain in your hip, and just
mm,
start making a sound, whatever that sound feels like. And if
mm.
you will kind of get out of your own way and continue to
Yeah.
give it breath, that sound is going to change. And it might
Mm,
change and sound angry, when it might begin to change and sound really sad. But
mm.
that is the body. That's you expressing for the body. And that really
Wow.
is the key. That's
Wow.
the key.
I love that. And it just,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna have to try this for sure. Because I mean, I
It,
do that every night. Every night I go to bed and I either take an Advil or I take a Tylenol, every night. I mean, it's just, and I hate it. I literally hate it. But, and I try, to try to say, okay, just like relax, 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 like, but I mean, because I have it, like, I've actually improved a lot. I had TMJ, but
mm,
I've actually calmed it down quite a bit, but I grind my teeth every night, and so my jaw always hurts. And I mean,
yeah.
I gotta let this go, like, yeah. So I love that
Yeah.
idea.
And sometimes it's about just relaxing, and
Mm-hmm.
other times it's about giving that pain, whatever
A
it
voice.
is, a voice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have great respect for conventional medicine.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place for it for sure in our world,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but there's also a place for energy work.
Yeah.
And mostly we've been, uh, what's the right word? We've not been schooled in the fact that we are also energy. We
Yeah.
really are just schooled that we have this body and it's
Mm-hmm.
physical, everything is physical. Um,
Mm-hmm.
to me, health is 50% physical, 50% energy. You
Yeah.
you can't have one without the other. They're both
That's right.
intertwined.
Yeah.
So you have to address both in order to
Mm-hmm.
have good health.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, we don't live forever. Our bodies are designed to break down eventually, and
Yeah.
dust to dust, all that good stuff. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, there's a lot that we can do for ourselves in order
Mm-hmm.
to initiate health and
Right.
feeling good.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's no fun to have to live with chronic pain every day of your life, and but I mean, really, when you think about it, a lot of it is like mental, the mental thoughts and what have you that create this pain too. And that we need to switch that off. Like we need to just allow that energy in our brains to be more free kind of thing. And yeah, it's just a hard thing to deal with. It really is.
Yeah,
And I
it,
mean, that's
it
why
is.
I'm so grateful that we have people like you that are out there that can help other people through this. And it's incredible how it works if once you've tried it. Like you get blown away by how good you feel. Even well, let's go into the topic of I want to talk about the sound bath healing because I had an experience, but I want you to tell the audience about how that works because it is incredible. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I think probably the sound baths are the most fun thing that I do regarding sound. I absolutely love. facilitating my sound baths. And it's sort of the same concept with the tuning forks, only it's a little more global, so to speak. When I'm working with tuning forks with somebody, it's specifically related to them. It's one on one.
Mm-hmm.
But with the sound baths, it's a little more general delivery of sound, but it's no less effective.
Mm-hmm.
So what sound does is it brings space to things. It opens up space.
Right.
And so when the sound moves into the body, it it begins to open up space. It opens up tension. So
Mm-hmm.
muscles that were locked down begin to relax and open up. And wherever we
Mm-hmm.
can bring relaxation to the body, that is where healing happens on
Mm-hmm.
whatever level.
Right.
So my sound bath work, I probably started doing sound baths, oh my goodness. Well, long before it became a thing. I've probably been
Mm.
doing sound baths for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so at this point.
Wow.
And when I started doing them around here, I was really the only game in town,
Yeah.
and worked with another person, and he was a beautiful flute player, and I did my
Mm.
things, and we kind of wove in and out of each other for the sound baths,
Oh,
which was
wow.
lovely. Lots of people do them,
Mm. Yeah.
at least here, and
Mm.
that's a testament to the fact that they work. That lots of people are interested in going and
Right.
experiencing paths. So
Yeah.
I think it's great that there are more people doing them. There's plenty of
Mm-hmm.
room for everybody, and everybody is different. So my
Mm-hmm.
sound baths are different from the person down the road doing them,
Right.
and I think that we all kind of gravitate to what feels good for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that that's why there are many different healing modalities out there now, because one
Right.
healing modality is not good for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, so, and there are so many more healing modalities now than there
Mm-hmm.
were 30 years ago. I mean, 30
Right.
years ago, who heard of tuning forks? Who heard of sound baths? Who heard
Yeah.
of cranial sacral work? I
Right.
mean, these things were kind of non existent back then.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Reiki was around, but I hadn't heard about it 30 years ago. It was really
No.
just sort of beginning to make its way into our country, our
Mm-hmm.
world. Reiki actually came over from Hawaii. So
Mm-hmm.
California was really kind of the first place. And
Right.
then it just slowly started spreading across the country. But
Mm-hmm.
now, I mean, how amazing is it that now they invite Reiki into hospitals, into
Yes.
cancer?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh.
I know.
So, and with that has come uh, not, I wouldn't call them dangers, but with that has come the medical community, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, and
Mm-hmm.
politics.
Mm.
So the big issue, at least right now for us energy workers, and we are really trying to mobilize and become more organized,
Mm.
is how does energy work get regulated? Of
Mm.
course, we don't want to be regulated at all. I think
Mhm.
it's naive to think that that will never happen.
Mhm.
So I think the goal, and there are a lot of people working on this in the background, is
Mhm.
how do we figure out how to regulate ourselves so that we are able to continue to do our work
Right.
effectively and efficiently,
Mhm.
um, without interference from the government, from
Right.
political agenda, from
Mhm.
the medical community.
Right.
So, we have a long way to go. It's going to be interesting
Mhm.
to see what happens moving forward.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. It is so wonderful that there are some hospitals that will allow the Reiki, and I think that's just it's fantastic, and like you had mentioned too, about loving rocks when you were younger,
Yeah.
um, and I had studied, well, after my son passed away. No, I'm lying. Before he had passed away, after my cancer, I had started studying about crystals and crystal energy, and so I actually got my certification as a crystal healing practitioner, and and I had thought that that was maybe what I wanted to do with my life, but I realize now that it was one of those things that it was to help me heal myself. I still make crystal bracelets and stuff, which I love, and I sell um on Etsy, and I have my own website or what have you, but I love that. I love the energy that the crystals provide, and I, like you, I loved rocks from when I was a little kid. Like I still even I remember going to the beach with my husband. We were in Cape Cod, and I didn't know anything really about crystals or anything, and found this beautiful rock on the beach and had to bring it home, and it sat on my coffee table forever. I put candles on it or whatever, and so it's
Yeah.
just I love the whole thing, but I don't. And I did get my Reiki masters too. And again, I think I just did it for me, and that's not to be selfish, but it was a form of healing
Hmm.
that I was being guided towards to help myself. So, but it's that discipline in having to do it for yourself is not always easy. Giving our own selves self-love is not an easy thing to do. So I respect and love people that offer different modalities that we can go to and have done for us, because it's just beautiful when we can do it that way.
Well, I think the whole concept of self love is so minimized in our world, in our
Yeah.
society, especially in our society here in the
Hmm.
United States. For sure, the whole idea of self love is almost non-existent, and the
Hmm.
truth is, if you cannot love yourself, you cannot really truly and fully love somebody else. And if
Right.
we learned how to respect ourselves and love ourselves,
Hmm.
I the world would be a much better place.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
uh, I hope that that's what I deliver in my healing sessions is
Hmm.
a piece of that people are able to find that within themselves. That certainly is my goal. I think that's the
Hmm.
only way to make the world better.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do.
And I love that you say, that it's the self-love, but to respect yourself also. I mean, I know I'm so guilty of that. I'm so guilty of not giving myself the respect that I deserve. And that's, I think, you know, it's one thing to offer ourselves the self-love, and you think of it as like by, oh, going getting pampered or doing whatever, but it's a lot. It's a lot more than just that. And allowing yourself to be in a situation that doesn't serve you well, whatever that situation might be, you need that respect for yourself to know that you need to walk away from certain things, like, or change whatever that is so that you are respecting yourself. And
Yeah,
I'm glad
it
that you brought up that word, because I don't think that we really associate that, the respect and the self-love, as really two things like that should be together.
well, they do go together, and
Hmm.
it's part of it is yes, I need to go get a massage, or yes, I want to go, you know, soak in the tub for an hour or whatever.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
those are all forms of self love
Hmm.
and taking care of yourself. But
Hmm.
also, and I'm to go back to making a sound
Mm,
for pain in the body, it's
right.
also about expressing emotion. So,
Mm,
respect and self love go hand in hand as far as expressing emotion that is coming up in the body. So, whether it's
mm,
sadness, whether it's anger, whether it's happiness, whether it's frustration, it doesn't
mm,
matter what it is,
yeah.
as long as you're honoring that and
Mm,
respecting that
hmm.
within the body that's saying, "Oh, I'm feeling, ugh, I need to
Right.
go, slam my
Yeah.
pillow on the bed, or I need to go sit in my room and cry for however
Yeah.
long I need to cry."
Mm,
That also is self respect and self love to
yeah.
allow that to come out.
Yeah. You're right. Exactly.
Mm.
So cool. It's so incredible. It just, what we can do for ourselves. Like, but we just have to do it. We have to do it. And you're like you say, if people did do this, more people did this, then it would be, the world would be a much more peaceful and beautiful place, But it's,
Well, we're told to clamp it down, right? That's what we're taught.
mhm,
We're
yeah.
taught to, you know, keep a tight upper lip, or, stiff upper lip, however they say it,
Hmm.
bite your tongue,
Yeah.
don't cry, be,
Hmm.
toughen up,
Hmm.
pick yourself up by your bootstraps, and big boys don't cry, and it's not nice to
Yeah.
hate, and
Yeah.
stop being so full of yourself. That was another big one.
Yeah.
Put a lid on it. And
Hmm.
we do those things. We put a lid on it. We put
Hmm.
an energetic lid on ourselves that doesn't allow
Right.
us to be our beautiful, bright selves.
Yeah.
And says stop being so full of yourself. God knows I heard that a lot
Mm.
as a kid.
Mm.
And as an adult, and now that I do all this kind of work,
Hmm.
it's like, who else are you supposed to be full of? You're supposed to be full
True.
of yourself.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you don't want to
So
be full of anybody else. That's so silly.
uh,
Yes.
so it's
Oh,
a it's
that's
the
so
great
interesting. Yeah.
unlearning. It's a
Yeah.
great unlearning, and we have to
Yeah.
kind of reprogram to be able to say, I am a big beautiful light. I deserve
Hmm.
to shine in whatever capacity that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I love this. I mean, I'm so interested in, for me, I don't know, you go through this journey in life and you want to heal from the pain that you've got that has been brought upon you from many different things throughout my life in particular. But I want to be able to help other people be happy and help other people. I just want to I guess, allow my voice somehow to just like, I'm doing these not daily affirmations. Going to start recording weekly affirmations again. I did it before, and
Mm.
I stopped doing it because I was just like, um, oh, this is so silly. Who the heck do I think I am doing this? Like, I don't know. And then I went to somebody the other day and talked to somebody, and they were like, I was having a really hard day. And they said, you know what? You need to go back to doing your affirmations. And it not only is going to help you, Linda, but it literally, I loved when you did them. And I would share them, and everybody, the people that would say to me, "Oh, I'm so glad that that girl does those affirmations. I love hearing it. It really helps me start my day." And I was just like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I
Mm.
need to do, and if I can make somebody else happy just by doing that one little thing, that makes me happy. So, but I gotta keep, I think I think that's why I asked you about the voice, because I think I want to make sure that my voice is true and my voice is giving the truest love that I can give when I do anything like this, like do an affirmation or talk on this podcast or whatever. I want to be the truest, most loving voice that I can possibly be, you know? So we'll have to chat
And
later.
I think that is a byproduct of honoring and loving yourself and all of the palette of emotions that we are as human
Mm,
beings. Because the
mm,
extent to which you suppress your anger, your sadness, your frustration, whatever it is,
mm,
the extent to which you suppress any of that is also the extent to which you suppress joy. It
mm.
cannot be
Yeah,
any other way.
yeah.
So, the more you can begin to get in touch with your rage, your anger, your sadness, your whatever it
Mm,
is, and begin to allow that to come out. And
mm,
I don't mean, you have to go get in somebody's face and
mm,
lace them out or lay them out
yeah,
or whatever.
right.
It
Yeah.
means you're honoring that within yourself and you're
Yeah.
allowing the expression of that. And as
Mm,
that happens, the love starts to come in because you are loving yourself by allowing that expression to release.
right.
And when that happens, the voice changes and the
Mm,
voice also begins to sound ah, more relaxed,
right.
more
Yeah.
truthful, more centered, more grounded.
Mm,
So it's not something you necessarily have to think about doing, it just begins to happen. So
right.
I remember as I was doing, so when I was studying in New York City, method acting, which is all about releasing um, muscle tension in the body in order
Mm-hmm.
to allow truthful expression that you then bring into the scene that you're doing in on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember as I was learning that work and releasing tension in my body and my throat and everywhere, that
Yeah.
my voice started to drop, like my voice started to relax and it started to
Mm.
get more well-rounded
Oh,
and
wow.
softer on the edges instead of talking up here like this all the time. My
Right. Yeah.
just totally changed.
Wow. That's
So
so interesting.
and that's how the body works. So
Yeah.
as that happens, it kind of begins to affect everything overall in a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. Um, so when you can do the biofield tuning online, you don't need to be in person for that. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's a modality that I can do remotely. So I
Okay.
have clients all over the world,
Cool.
and I basically am working. I do work in person as well,
Mm-hmm.
but when I work remotely with somebody, I'm really bringing their energy body, their hologram, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
onto my table, my massage table, and I'm working with them energetically.
Okay.
So, which just leaves me open to incredible possibilities to help people.
Right.
So, I work with the tuning forks in a biofield tuning session. I'm also
Mm.
taking a beautiful Himalayan um, singing bowl class right now to get
Ooh.
certified in. So I'll
Mm.
probably be bringing maybe some bowls into my sessions as well. It's really about whatever I'm guided to do and what I'm sensing
Mm-hmm.
and feeling
Yeah.
for the person I'm working with in the moment.
Right. So interesting.
Yeah,
And
but
then the
sound
sound.
is vibration and it affects the body. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's a tuning fork or a crystal bowl or a Himalayan bowl.
Hmm.
It's all sound.
Wow. That's so incredible. Um, and then the sound bowl healing, you sound bath healing, you do that in person.
So far, that's been in person. I have done a few sound baths online,
Mm-hmm.
and I might go back to that at some point. I have
Mm-hmm.
a great recording system set
Mm.
up. There's so I'm working on so much.
Yeah.
It's been a little hard to fit it in. Like, when am I going to do that? And is
Right.
it? I don't want it to be haphazard. I'd rather to have
Yeah.
some sort of a structured thing. Like, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing a sound bath online once a month, or
Mm-hmm.
once a week, or so.
Right.
I'm sure that's coming in the not too
Oh,
distant future, maybe in 2025.
you need to please keep me um aware of when like what if you are going to go ahead of that, let me know because I will
Oh
put
yeah.
it out there like because I would love to attend absolutely. I mentioned to you before we hit the record button that I was down at Brook Green Gardens back in October, and we they had a sound bath healing event, and there was probably 70 of us, and this gentleman um, had the I don't know what that was. Something just there was something in my house that shouldn't be making a noise, but it did. Anyway, there's some other energy around here. I don't know what it is. Um, geez. Anyway, yeah, it was just an incredible thing, and it just like I he, he had these Tibetan metal bowls and representing all the chakras, and he towards the end he was walking around and he was putting some of the bowls on different people, and he actually ended up putting the heart chakra bowl on me, on my heart, and I was trying to like release some of the grief of losing my son, and it he just felt that I needed that energy, and oh my God, I was so at peace and so relaxed. I said I literally felt like I was had melted into the ground. My body was that relaxed. It was just incredible. And there were a couple where we were staying in Myrtle. There's some friends that were down there and they had gone as well. And he wasn't really a person who truly knew much about or was into that kind of stuff and just was like blown away by how incredible he felt from this healing. It was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think that number one, people don't, um, they're not aware of the benefits of sound. That's
Hmm.
first off. But number
Hmm.
two, they also don't know what it is to be in a relaxed state
Right.
other than when they're sleeping, which you're not really aware of.
Yeah.
Um, and people do fall asleep in the sound baths, that does happen. But when
Yeah.
people, um, at the end of the sound bath, when people are coming sort of back into the room, back into the present,
Hmm.
there's a palpable difference in how people look.
Mm.
When they sit
Yeah.
up, they look different. There's a different energy about them. There's a
Yeah.
different sense of relaxation about them. There's a different sense of feeling present.
Mm.
And people are aware of that. They understand they feel different after a
Yeah.
sound bath. And there's
Yeah.
nothing I like better than, or there's nothing more validating than when people who have never been to a sound bath before sit up
Mhm.
and go, "Oh my gosh, that's the most incredible thing
Yeah.
I've ever experienced."
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it truly is. It just is so incredible. I loved it. Loved it. I mean, and
and
just
people do that more often.
yes.
People need that more often so that you begin to recognize, oh, this is relaxation, and this is not. And this is how I am most of the time.
Hmm.
And so I need
Yeah.
to go and be immersed in that
Yeah.
relaxation experience.
I mean, it's one thing, like how many times have I been for a massage, and I'm not discrediting. massage therapist by any means, but geez, if we went to a sound healing, we would reduce all this like tension in our bodies from this sound, and and then we could go for a massage just for whatever, just a relaxation. Then all your muscles are not knots. It's just somebody else giving you a back rub. Who doesn't like a back rub, right? Like, but
Oh,
yeah, let's
yeah.
get rid of.
Well, again, it goes back to that idea that it's both, right? There's both the physical aspect of the body, and then there's the energetic aspect of the body. And
Mm,
sound is working not just on the physical body, but it's also
mm,
working on the energetic field
mm,
around the body,
right,
because the sound is moving through that energy field. And
right.
whatever is tense in the body, is
Hmm.
there's also a mirroring component in the
Mm,
field. So the
right.
field mirrors the body, and the body mirrors the field.
Mm,
And so you cannot just work on one and ignore the other.
right. Okay.
You
Wow.
really do have to work both.
Yeah.
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 For And I'd love to see, you know, sound baths every day of the week that somebody could go to.
Mm, yeah.
Sort of like taking an aspirin, go
Yeah.
have a sound bath for an hour.
Right.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's my goal, is to hopefully continue to bring more sound baths to my area and
Hmm.
make it more mainstream. I mean, I have
Hmm.
sort of a following here where I
Hmm.
am. It's more the fringe people right now who come to
Hmm.
sound baths and recognize,
Yeah.
that they're a thing and
Hmm.
beneficial. But I'd like
Yeah.
to get it more into mainstream. So
Hmm.
there's a long way to go. There's a
Yeah.
long way to go with sound,
Yeah. Exactly.
but we're just at the forefront of it. We're really just on the forefront of the potential and the possibilities of sound for healing. And there are a lot of us pioneers out there. There are a lot of
Hmm.
us. We
I'm
just
just thinking
keep doing what
too.
we're doing.
I have a really good friend who does a lot of hospice work, and I think that would be a beautiful thing to have, in a hospice situation as well.
I've done
You
um, sound work in hospice before
hmm.
for somebody
Yeah,
who was passing. So yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
beautiful too.
yeah.
Hmm.
There's a lot of potential,
Yeah.
a lot of possibilities out there for bringing this into um, um, organizations and situations where it would help that
Yeah.
population.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. For
prisons,
sure.
all kinds of
Yeah.
places.
Gosh, yeah, that's true. It's true. Wow. So interesting. I just love it. It's so interesting. Um, and God, I wish I lived close. I'd be there all the time.
Well, I'll
You'd be like, you again, Linda?
I have people who follow me. It's awesome. But I definitely will let you know when I start up the online. I'm thinking
Yeah.
probably in January or February this coming year.
Okay.
So it's been on my mind for a long time. It just is something I have to get this one class done that I'm working on.
Right.
And then I'm going to really ramp it up.
Yay. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Oh, I'll
Yeah.
definitely share, share,
There aren't
share, share,
many
share.
people. Yeah. Beautiful. I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, any final thoughts or words that you might want to speak to before we close?
No, if you're interested in finding me for Biofield Tuning, you can find me online at um, my website is RB for Robin Barnes, rbsoundhealing.com. And that will bring you to my website, and you're welcome to check out everything there on the website and where I'm doing my sound baths if you're local, or booking a biofield tuning session.
Hmm.
or a Reiki session. I do both of those remotely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I'm on all the social medias. I'm on Instagram as at Sounds for the Soul. I'm on TikTok as the same, except that it's the number 4 in the middle. And I'm on Facebook
Oh,
as Sounds for the Soul, all the words spelled out.
okay.
So
Um,
I'm in places. My daughter's doing an awesome job keeping me out there
you lucky
because
duck.
it's beyond, I can't
Oh
do
my,
it.
oh, Robin, I'm telling you. I mean, the funny thing is, Ryan, my son who passed, he was so good at this stuff, and I remember like I don't know, I was doing something, and oh, he's like, Mom, I can help you with that or whatever. And I'm like, I wish he was here right now because shit, like when I started doing this podcast, I was like recording stuff and I'm like, it says it's a WAV file. And then somebody's like, it's Linda, it's called WAV. It's not WAV. I'm like, oh, well, I have to turn this into a MP4 and then I have to do it for audio. I got to do it into an MP. I don't even know what an MP3 is. Like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
So if your daughter's for hire, can you tell her to let me know? Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I'm telling you.
I thank God for it. He keeps telling me, well, Mom, I'm not going to do this forever for you. I'm going to law school. And I'm like, okay. It's
I
then
know.
I'll have to lean on my other.
Yeah, I mean, it's we can do it. I mean, you know what you did do, like you taught all that stuff, like way back when. You could do it. It's just, it's easier when a young person,
I just
can
don't
do
like
these things
it.
for you. I
Just
know.
don't like doing it. I
I
really
hear you.
don't. I don't want to spend hours editing a video that I shot or putting music behind it or figuring out how to, write a little thing on it to post it. I'm like, oh God, it's just, I'm too
Uh,
old. It's
well,
not
this
my
is
generation
why.
of technology.
Exactly. And this is why, like my right currently, I do not edit any of my podcasts, which is I'm okay with because I like literally like our conversations to be, just natural. But I don't have a sound intro, like a nice, cool, like,
Mm,
professional intro and a parting intro or parting song or oh, because I don't know how to do it. To be quite honest, I just don't know how to do it. But the main thing is that I'm doing this. So who cares if it's not super professional? As long
yeah,
as we're getting our
and you might
stories
get to.
out there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
enjoy listening to it. So
Yeah. There you go. Well, thank you so much, Robin, for being a guest today. I truly appreciate it. And I will put up all the information where everybody can reach you. And yeah, and definitely keep letting me know when you're doing anything that we can all join in as a group. I will, oh my God, I would be definitely there. And I know others for sure that I know will be there too. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
awesome.
And yeah, sending everybody so much love and light today. And thank you for listening. Please like us. Please share this if you can. And check out Robin because she is spectacular.
Thanks.
I just love it. All right.
Thank you for having
Thanks.
me. It's been lovely.
Oh, thank you,
All right.
Robin. Bye for now, everyone.
You're welcome.
Oop, there